No, it wasn't a dream. Cumbria really is set to host the world's biggest cycle race. The sound of cowbells and the buzz of bikes will be heard when the Tour de France comes to the county in 2027. Not only is it set to be a major attraction, but footage will be beamed all over the world. In this special edition of Northern Lights, we'll hear from someone who knows more than most about the draw of the event and what it could mean in the longer term for Cumbria. Professor Phil Leigh is Senior Knowledge ExchangeManager at the University of Cumbria, but has a background in cycling at the highest level, not just racing, but also managing teams on the international stage, no less. And he joins us now. Phil, thanks very much for joining us. What's your reaction to the news, first of all?
It's amazing news and really quite exciting, to have the world's biggest bike race coming here to Cumbria. It's astonishing news and well received and very timely.
For those who don't follow sport, I mean, I imagine there's quite a few in Cumbria who don't look at cycling as a sport, but, can you perhaps just put into context, how important, how impressive is it that the Tour de France is coming here?
Well, as you said, it is actually the world's biggest bike race, and it's also the world's biggest free-to-view event in the fact that you can come and stand along the roadside. There's no cost, no charge. You can just come in and see, the world's best cyclists come and ride in this iconic event that's going to start in the UK next year and have 3 days. And we're very fortunate that we've got 2 days in Cumbria, in Carlisle and Keswick. And so the impact and the potential legacy of that is massive. As you said, I've worked on events like the Tour of Britain and World Championships, and I've often driven through in that event through the Lake District, because the Lake District has been a quite iconic location and geography for the Tour of Britain to come through. So we've had a lot of world-class athletes through there, but the Tour de France is at another level. And what we'll see it draw tens of thousands of crowd out, people just flock to the roadside. I think cycling was made very popular through the noughties, through the success of British cycling and the feats of people like Mark Cavendish. And I think now what we're seeing is that that's going to grow and come through in this opportunity here for Cumbria. So I think it's going to be massive. It's also going to be televised. It's going to put the Cumbria and our cities and towns on a global stage. And I think the visitor opportunities afterwards will be huge.
I think it's interesting. A couple of years ago, there was the Tour de Yorkshire, which I'm sure you may have been involved in. I don't know, but I certainly witnessed it as a spectator and reported on it as well. And again, not just the vibe of the event, it was a fantastic experience to enjoy. It's like a party going around North, South, West Yorkshire. It was great. But the impact on businesses in tourism terms, and also I think putting Yorkshire on the map as a destination, I think it's perhaps no surprise or no coincidence that tourism figures in North Yorkshire are showing a continued increase at a time when figures elsewhere in the country are not. So I wonder if there's like a bit of a lag between TV coverage and exposure of an area, and then people going, do you know what? Let's go to wherever. And I wonder if Cumbria might benefit from that.
Yes, I think so. And Tour de Yorkshire is another race that I worked on when the race was held a few years back. And you're absolutely correct. It did have a huge economic benefit for the county and the region. And I think the Tour de France coming for 2 days into Cumbria can have a similar effect and impact. And other beneficiaries, it even can be things like road and infrastructure improvement, because often when a big race like this comes through, they fix all the potholes, they smooth out the roads, and especially on the route it's going through. So there could be some beneficiaries from that. So I think the economic impact and benefits will be far-reaching, and then it'll be a tourist destination. I've done corporate events on routes in Yorkshire when the Tour de France came there in 2014, and basically there can be similar things like that can happen. I run some cycling business breakfasts out of Carlisle, where we can grow those, and we can do them, as the University of Cumbria. We also have a campus in Ambleside, so it's going to come right past that. So we're in the heart of the Lake District as a university, as well as a whole area. So I'll be looking to perhaps run some cycling business breakfast from that region into Keswick and Moot Hall, where the second stage is going to start from. That's going to be massive and iconic with Skiddaw in the background. and the beautiful Lake District scenery.
Wow, it's exciting times. I mean, as I mentioned in the introduction, you've been involved in organising events and managing teams as well, because the teams themselves, it's not just the riders and a couple of cars with bikes on the roof. It's far more than that, isn't it? It's like a travelling circus of people, big numbers of people themselves. I mean, just to actually organise the race itself is a large undertaking, isn't it?
It is. And within the whole Tour de France, they have what they call a caravan that runs ahead of the race. And this is advertising with sponsors and cycling wares, and they often throw free caps and bottles and goods out to the crowds. It's really quite fascinating and different. If people have experienced the Tour of Britain, for example, coming through the Lake District, the Tour de France is very, very different, because it's what calls a rolling closed road with things like the Tour of Britain. With the Tour de France, they shut the road down all day. So the route, you will not be able to access it, and any cars that are left parked and it will be towed away. All sorts of things like this happen. But that means sort of up to 2 hours ahead, and maybe even more sometimes, you get this caravan that's continuing, and it goes for miles. And it's just a great opportunity for people to engage with it and see the culture. And it's like a big circus. It's fantastic. So the cyclists actually come through over a relatively short period, depending what the terrain is like and what the tactics of the day are, how they split up. But as you also say, I did used to run professional cycling teams, and so you do have a number of cars, but they have big buses. They have big buses that people may have seen on TV or seen in person at things like the Tour of Britain or World Championships. There is all this kind of razzmatazz going on around the race. All these things travel through. It's just a great visual and cultural experience to witness it. Plus, obviously, a great sporting spectacle as well, because you have these athletes who are the fittest cyclists in the world, which will be there in peak condition in July 2027.
Yeah, I remember Tour de Yorkshire following some of the route in advance and, huffing and puffing up a hill, and then watching several hours later as these fantastic athletes kind of breezed up it without breaking sweat. It's a bit depressing, actually, because they're just so fit, but it is a good thing to see. I just wonder as well, because it doesn't seem that far away, does it? I mean, we're only talking like 18 months away, so I guess the preparation all starts now. So do you think Cumbria not only seeing the benefit aftermath and during the event itself, but between now and the lead up, as people perhaps do recce's, you mentioned the work that might be carried out, the preparation as well, but also people, I don't know, coming to get in beforehand. I know, for example, the Tour de France, a friend of mine goes and you can actually pay to follow the route in advance of the cyclist. Do you think that's the thing as well? So tourism could benefit even before the Tour de France?
Yes, completely. And I mentioned I did a corporate event in Yorkshire for the stage finish in Harrogate in 2014, prior to the Tour de France coming, and they brought about 100 people, and I organised this, and it was a fantastic day out, and they wanted to finish on the finish that the Tour de France was going to, the actual line, so we did that, and we did about a 90-mile loop, following the route exactly that it was going to take. So things like this can, and I'm sure will happen, and there's a huge opportunity for things like schools to get involved, and youngsters planning on what might happen, designing posters or whatever, being out there on the day, because things like and actually it's only the Friday the 2nd, the day it comes to Carlisle, is actually a school day, but then it's over the weekend, it's Saturday, the Mutor Keswick Day. But often in the Tour of Britain, and some people will have witnessed this, that loads of schools come out and watch it. And they often line the road and cheer, and it's fantastic to see, in that sense, and they really get engaged. And hopefully that enthuses the next generation of cyclists, that they get inspired and say, I want to do that, I want to race a bike, and so this is fantastic. And while I would add that, while the men's race is we're talking about here, we also have the women's race coming to the UK on the 30th of July. That won't be in Cumbria, though. That will be starts in Leeds and goes to Manchester, Sheffield, and then a stage in London. So we also have the benefit of the unique benefit of the men's and women's Tour de France, both starting in the UK, which is the first time they started outside of France in the same country ever. So we have that benefit.
Oh, it's excellent stuff, isn't it? It's counting down now. And as you say, schools, I imagine the university involved. As you said before, it's coming right past the campus at Ambleside. So, the opportunity to promote the university, promote, chance to actually learn in Cumbria as well is obviously one to be grabbed with both hands, isn't it? And legs.
Absolutely. We have certain colleagues that work out on those campuses. Bob in Ambleside, who's a keen cyclist, he will be out supporting it. I'll be supporting him. But we'll be looking at what we can do as a university.
Excellent stuff. I was going to ask you where you'd be choosing to watch it. Where's your vantage point? But I guess right on Lake Road as it comes past the campus at Ambleside. It's good a place as any, isn't it?
Well, it will. But I'll also be on this previous stage because I live in North Cumbria, so it comes about a mile from my house, just north of Carlisle. So I'll be out seeing the Carlisle stage, and then I'll be in the Cumbria stage as well, the Keswick to Liverpool stage. So I'll be somewhere probably around between Keswick and Ambleside. They're all cycling routes of mine. I know the roads very well, and it's just unbelievable that people were able to think the Tour de France came through here.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much for your time, Phil, as well. Good to talk, and thanks for the insight into what it might mean for Cumbria in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Professor Phil Leigh, the Senior Knowledge ExchangeManager at the University of Cumbria. Thanks to him, and thanks to you for downloading this edition of Northern Lights. Many more editions of the podcast coming up. Keep in touch with Business Crack for all that's happening in Cumbria's business community.